All right, Okangali, a beautiful jam right in from the guy himself, Fat A. You are watching Western Television, and of course, he's an ICIGMC, the only guy that speaks in capital letter. But of course, I remember, in the early 2010, it was early 2010, Fat A used to be, let me say, an umbrella for some of the artists that comes from Central and Northern Uganda. But of course, I remember within that period of time, Boss Miko team also came. When Boss Miko team came to Arua, he was staying with him, he welcomed him and they were staying together. Same applies to Busherman. But of course, when Busherman also came to West Nile and Arua in particular, Busherman stayed as his home. I believe that it was for quite long that Busherman stayed also at his home. So Fat A used to be one of the legendary, one of the artists who is so loving, and he gets he does not segregate. We know that he is known of his own things, but I cannot talk about his own things. Sometimes they always sometimes talk about the good part of a person. He really did it by then. He did a wonderful job. Back then, within that period of time, people thought that in Gulu, people thought that Boss Miko team had traveled outside. People thought that Boss Miko team had traveled abroad, whereby Boss Miko team first stayed in Nebi. He stayed in Nebi. By then, I was also in Nebi. When Boss Miko stayed in Nebi, I was in Nebi also. By then, I was just working with one discotheque called Matonge Discotheque. So Boss Miko stayed in Nebi, and then he decided to relocate to Arua, and it was Fat A that welcomed him, to Arua, showed him, sheltered him, gave him whatever he needed, for him just to feel at home. The same applies to Busherman, and it's a good thing, by the way. These are the current artists that I've seen that can do that. I believe maybe it can only be Freeboy, as it stands, maybe Freeboy, because I've seen so many of the Central artists. Once they step here, the first person that they ask is Freeboy. Freeboy, it's because they have been rubbing shoulders way back before when he was in Baboon Forest. Even Munji, I remember also sometimes back Munji, when Munji came around, and they were also rubbing shoulders together. So that shows unity and, what should I say? Connection? Yeah, connection, connecting within. And I believe that now the question here comes. How many of West Nile artists and Northern Uganda, if I'm told you are to relocate to Kampala, which artists among the Central artists is going to welcome you? This is the question that I'm dropping it to the people out there. Which artists amongst the Central artists do you think it's going to welcome any of the artists in Northern Uganda? More so here in West Nile, because we have seen so many artists from Central. When they come here, they always feel at home because guy is here. They are so welcoming. So who among those artists that we have that think if they are to go, they'll be sheltered very well, as the Lights of Fat A did here in some years back? CHUKU remains, no matter, of course, wherever you're catching us from. I have one of the biggest fan of Saj, and that is Afande Odongo in Mubende. Afande Odongo, I want to take this special time to say thank you so much for believing in us, particularly believing in Western Television and believing in Saj himself. And of course, when you believe in Saj, you don't believe in Saj alone. You believe in Western Television and the person who is making all these things look like this. That is the boy, the baddest producer, the boy himself. So thanks a lot. Wherever you're catching us from, you could be catching us from this other side of Congo, from Kenya, from Mahagi, not forgetting my brother in Pakwash, and all over, wherever you're catching us from Sudan. We want to say thank you so much for trusting Saj and West Nile Television. And of course, it's a TBT throwback where we talk about where we play, at least a kind of all the music. We do Lingala, old Lingala, lights of 90s, and of course 2000, we just mix it up, the bongo flavor, and of course our own, from our own region, northern Uganda. Just as you saw it at the beginning, we started by playing Look Ming Ming Petegula Winya by Lucky Boss Mikoti, one of the legendary. Then also talking about the guys to do with the lights of Coco Finger. These are the guys that when you talk about leader music, you never forget to talk about Coco Finger. You will not miss talking about Okengbon Town. You can't fail to talk about, that is a Lil Square of late. Yeah, the current guy, you can't fail to talk about Lil Square. Then when you talk about Gulu music, the lights of BSG Labongo, the late Lumix, and the rest of the guys like Gosmiko team, these are the legend guys, yeah. The Muzet B, those are guys, late Muzet B, those are the guys from Leader. When you don't talk about them in the music industry, trust me, then you might be taken away from the music fraternity. Saj MC remains my name, the only guy that speaks in capital letter. There is a real fight between the two leader artists. That is Okengbon Town and Lil Square. And as it stands right now, these guys are really exchanging words, on social media. They are exchanging words, and the bloggers have taken it, upon themselves. The bloggers have taken it upon themselves now to make stories and news about these guys. But of course, we come like this. I will be giving you that story in the second half of the show. Then, as I will be finalizing, then I will be giving you about the story about Bushy Boy. What he said about the Numa, we talked about Numa Award that always happens every single fast of January every year. That is in Gulu. Of course, all along he has been keeping quiet. He has been quiet. He did not even utter his say any word. But this time around, he came up and he said something that concerned that very particular award. Saj MC remains my name. Let's go for the music break. And when we bounce back, we're going to be looking at the cause of the fight of the two Langi artists from Leader. Why is it that they are trying to pull ropes and the saga in between the two guys? I will be giving you in the second hour of the show. But for now, Wakeshi Day music break. And when we bounce back, keep it right there on West Night Television. Of course, I wish also we have Jack P week or month to support the kids that he left behind. And of course, this is just a common thing that anyone can think about, being so creative. I remember when he was, battling with his sickness, we could move on the street, mobilizing for the money, to go for money for the medication. We could move on the street. We could walk the street. Bankare, makale bene wo kumaini nwangu waketu music. Anna chele nangama ko microphone jumu keniti ngom ko bese ngi kudanga ngom nango wotu ikindano nkasango ne kasayo chwak nyate pinyo kuma nyatintin majichope mio ku chwak ni kom late ne ma Asia but watemu kadiri mamwa amobia makadiri dala lakini Mungu yongoni kini ikato biti sada kaichadi ni mo manga duvule. So amobitera andra drivers ingoni maybe send a kitra andra somebody ni late Jack P nitezo dictatorial. So now Jack P ku anjiki mingi vule dia ikavini ne were ikavini ne yere matega like for the promoters, for the event organizers, but kakichoyo azini create like late Jack P night, late Jack P Simanyoba week, something like that. Ichovina zingaras kuku Jack P Kovin anji vule diari ki mingi anji vule da kichi irimanji kichi sasa malia mini ne dichi anira katro dichiku lakini yo azi were de letera music ipimati ma music dai kakicho te ba anji dikipima za kora nango mako letema kwa kibadi kiaza nango mako kwa ndano ngini ketawacha ni at least wache kudana mo my music industry magito magiwe kwa kuwer mamigi manango gityo kunyodo yo ngemudong manang wer migi echa kanang wer migi te kena chup ketungwa wiya migi chupi belungu mani anyatin school fees loyo nyatinyo tema pinya ko minding chupo coming up being creative chupi coming up kulembe mokyani akono ndi oruma wabe celebrating at nema the purpose be celebrating enutie kumai where is the finance going yani game konyo ikinlembe negime ukwene even if once after every 5 years inwani akokuru game konyo mane game pushing yatin ende de ko kametie yede beru kungechmani no I left my songs behind. And the songs are helping my families. So, such kind of things should be coming into our minds so that we can be able to help, the kids of the late and something like that. That all comes back when we join hand and we believe in ourselves and we say, this is the thing that we need to do. And it's done. It's just a matter of coming up, you call this and this, you call that and that. Then things are done just like that. But of course, that's late Jack P for you. He left us with good songs, and he was one of the producers around, a producer, a DJ, a video director. He was one in a million. But of course, may his soul rest in eternal peace as we continue enjoying his songs. CHUKU remains my name, and of course, you are watching Western Television as usual each and every single time. It's a TBT throwback. I want you to remember Ilira Kenyani. Meanwhile, Okengbon Town is a Langi but based in Gulu. Okengbon Town bedi Gulu, Lil Square beru para Ipacho Pagi, Ilira Kecha. Mugami benwangere telo tolu kima buri kindano wenigi. Lil Square de, ifido maneno kitema Lil Square chakude lemeni uchakre kumweru ma Okengbon Town uweru. Yani akale bene utiana owek iwa. Owek iwa yo kamon ka sende peripe tingse ka sende peripe mi chopi go ko dako we ko pienya dako kai be chika gam dako o makinge ne ka do be chika gam dako ngi ne mira shel dako kendu bongo mamira rio dako mako o kedi kuye mamira de dako mako chama ber mira ngwen dako mako be ku transport de mi woto ko de eta ingati mani be mi chika gam dako dum eta ke we ma Okengbon Town uweru o gamenu ngene nia en kideme be wacho ko de nia ena ngeongo kalil wine Lil Square nyogiti kulembe moku ikine gi engi ko dako pare dongam ke tusami weru werecha Lil Square gam gene werecha dongnia e weru ire make werecha e weru ngone Lil Square were ne weru ngat moko re kiore were ni gine ne Okengbon Town. Somebody wrote that song for Okengbon Town, but of course at the back of Okengbon Town's mind he didn't know, that's how he said it, that he didn't know that Lil Square had an issue with the wife. And of course, you see, that song alone cuts across the saga that was on, that is still going on between, the lady herself, Abel Lillian, the Honorable Minister, Abel Lillian for disaster. Judas Rap Knowledge, proposing to her. So, the two guys, the verse of the songs, I think, cuts across the two guys. But Lil Square took it so personal. Lil Square took it so personal in a way that he started, revealing some secrets, some inner secrets that they have been sharing, him and his brother. So the secret has now become, what should I say? The secret is no longer a secret. No, every person now understands the secret about how this Okengbon Town, how he runs his family, and the secret that they have been sharing among themselves. So that thing brought a lot of issues among these two guys, where you find out that my brother Lil Square is so bitter, and Lil Square came up with us another song. Lil Square, they are really so bitter. And I love the fact that though Okengbon Town tika tute mumir no lok onu wako ruenkere, but enbe doge be tika kare kum jo oni. Jo oni when Okengbon Town, as as it stands, Okengbon Town is one of the guy who brought these guys, most of these guys on the music, on the platform. Yeah, Okengbon Town brought these guys. Talking about Lil Square. By then, we have so many guys that he mentioned them. The guys that he brought on the on the pipeline. But in all these aspects that he has been doing, being an elder. They also say, there's a saying that says that when you respect yourself as an elder, a kid will respect you as an elder. But when you don't respect yourself, don't expect a kid to respect you as an elder. So you find out that there's a lot of saga, there's a lot of talking point, there's a lot of bitter words, to the extent that even now as it stands, these guys, if they are to meet like this, they can even meet to exchange punches. Because according to Kamuzu, leave alone Kamuzu, according to Lil Square, According to Lil Square, you know why I talk about Kamuzu? Because Kamuzu is one of the trending guy right now because he's so creative. And I love his creativity. Though his video is kind of at that side of maybe you'll pardon me for that, for mentioning his name. Lil Square, the statement that Lil Square said right now that for him is ready for the brother. That is Okeng Bontown, whether it being physically or battling on the stage. Then Okeng Bontown is saying that for him, he's a father. He's a father of the artist, you know, of leader artists. So he can combine all these artists. Talking about all the artists, he can bring them together like this on one beat to battle him. Because him alone, he cannot battle one person. For him, he will need all of them to battle them. Then they drop the beat there, and then for him, he gets on the beat. Then also Kamuzu says the same thing. That for him, he's a representative of Langi music right now as it stands. Because according to him, according to Lil Square, Okeng Bontown is an outdated artist. Because the guy stayed for 3 good years without even doing anything. Okeng Bontown went silent for 3 years. So when he came back, he came with Wek Iwa. Just one song, and it's so controversial right now as it stands. Whereby if I'm told Judas Rap Knowledge, if he's also to pop his note to talk about that, trust me, the news would be moving very fast and it will create a lot of enmities. But now, I would only urge that Lil Square should take it because the way the guy is saying that he wasn't even aware about him, you know, having issue with his wife. He was not aware about that. So we should just pardon that because things happen. Look, time, lokomo don ko time don weka don pono. Dano weng uti dano weng achel. Dano weng akere kabida akere sita chel. Lira city. Man weng dano weng mo don karachel. I remember the first time that I saw I saw Okeng Bontown. I was coming from Soroti. But then he was selling his watch. He used to sell watch, and then at the same time also charge phones, you know. That's when I came to, you know, that's when I knew him. By then I didn't know him as an artist because he was just an upcoming. He didn't know. And of course me, myself also was, you know, somehow doing another thing. But not necessarily in the music industry. But of course we had to put up there. And, you know, by then, back then, you know, you need to go to a shop where you can charge your phone, do this and this. I never had a phone, but of course, the person that I was working with, one of my uncles, sent me to go and charge the phone in one of the charging center. So that's where I saw this guy, Okeng Bontown. That was the first time that I saw him. You know, by then, you know, this guy used to be a comedian, you know, a drama guy. They used to do drama. That's when I came to know this guy, Okeng Bontown. But of course, all in all, what I can tell these guys is that leader, and the people believe in you guys. You know, controversial, sometimes it helps, it builds, and sometimes it brings you down. You know, you may think that you're doing it to get the fame and to do this, not knowing that you're bringing yourself. There are fans out there who believe in you. And when you start doing such kind of things, they trust, you know, the trust itself gets away. So I'll only tell my brothers, you know, from another mother, that is Okeng Bontown and Lil Square, just find a place, sit down, sort things as brothers, you know. Don't let, remember one time when Bob sang a certain song that, you know, enemies, they fear what they don't know, but they hate what they fear. So now, the enemies, they will get time now. They will get themselves to enter inside there. Then they will make sure that when you're pouring cold water for them, they bring fire. Cold water, they bring fire. Before you know it, your fans are done. You no longer have any fans, you know, that follows you, that believes in you. So make sure that you do the right thing at the right time. Just sit down and resolve the issue. Stop the media bubblings and the rest of the things. Just come as brothers and you sort yourself as entertainers. Leave along the issues. They say the issue of generals should be left to the generals. So you are the generals of your own now. He's a general and you're also a general. So now you can sort out your issues of generals. So IGMC remains my name. And of course, at the other side of Gulu, we are talking about Jelly J being so bitter with the incumbent, let me say, the elect MP, that is Gilbert Olanya, of not paying them for campaigning for him. We're talking about Jelly J and Jada Smith, something like that. And then Doggy Kiss. These are the artists who came forward. They said, let me say, the incumbent MP is not picking up their phone, but the rest of the artists, they paid them. But of course, yeah, the first thing that I love, this is why I always talk about Bushy the King. Bushy the King, when you want to do a song with, when you want Bushy the King to do for you a song, you have a contract. See, you have a contract that defends you and him at the same time. You understand? Because when he does something without a contract, how will you claim? That is exactly what is happening to my brothers Jelly J and Doggy Kiss and the fellow musicians who are now saying that they are calling Honorable Gilbert Olanya and is not picking their calls of Amoro. So now, so you yourself, you take it upon yourself. When somebody wants you to do something for him or her, what you need to do is that have a paperwork. A paperwork will guide both two of you, and in that paperwork, you will get to understand the terms and conditions of the work. So this time around, there's no paperwork. Yes, the truth is that they have been in the field for the 40 days that they talked about in the 40 places. They talked about, but now, what was the agreement? Yes, it says that the Lights of Laxi Mover, they were paid. The Polite Moscows, they were paid. But for them, they were not paid. But now, maybe, I am not in somebody's shoes. Party wa pangarum mo ikeni kiluwe enone. Era tika waje. Cha mono ju eone guberuki agreement make it mo coach. Ma part. Ero indo pe undo re pomete ki kero agreement pin. Iringo ka kero agreement pin. The agreement ero guiding both of you. Beru agreement mo keti kirujaja. E konyu uto. E konyu jadit ni bechi wer ire wer. Mane konyu ini jara wer de. Mane konyu in case of content makamu ko kwiti jamadan be marungo. Igamu wacha na jadit e wacha wer e komle madoko kumai. Then secondly, I'll also say that you guys are too much into hurry because the guy, he hasn't even sworn in. Body dengo, he's not even yet on that seat. Maybe I would also urge for the, I would also put myself there, you know, as one of the entertainers. I would say, my brother, Jelly J, Jelly G, let the guy, first give him some little time. Yeah? Give him some little time. Let him go and swear in, and then sit on the seat. Then from there, please, try. Give him some little time. We have so many artists that that campaign for so many people here, but they are not coming up with such kind of issues because because the person has not even sworn in. Given for example here in Arua, talking about the Lights of El Pishadi, who did a massive campaign for the mayor, you know, for the current mayor. You know, so they did that campaign for the incumbent Gundi Central MP for Arua Central City. You know, you understand? So now they are not even saying anything because they know the guy has not yet sworn in. Maybe after swearing in, that's when you can as well bring those other things. You can come and talk to the person that, you know what, now that you're here, you know, this and this and this and this. Maybe if you had an agreement, then you wait for that time. Yeah. Other than, you know, saying this and this, that in one way or the other, first of all, you lose respect. Then secondly, people start fearing to work with you because they will know that after working with you, even before the work is done properly, you'll start babbling and say this and that and that and that. So it's just an advice that I'll give to my brothers in the industry. It's not bad because you worked for it. So for the people out there, make sure that you artists out there, if you're doing some song for somebody, maybe a wedding song, maybe a love song, a dedication somebody is sending, because artists themselves, somebody will come to you that I have a woman, sing for me, sing for her, I have this and this company, can you sing for my company? So in such a scenario, you need really to have an agreement that guides both of you, most especially you, the artist who is going to do the song. Yeah? Though the person who wants you to sing about his girlfriend or what will give you the content. We'll write for you what you need to put in that song. Then it's you now to make it music. You understand? So definitely you really need to have an agreement before you get forward to do something for anybody. Saj MC remains my name, the only guy that speaks in capital letter. Continue watching Western TV, and of course it's a TBT throwback. We talking about TBT, we play good music, play good music, reminding you of those days music, the likes of the Pepe Kale, the Wenge Bezebeje, the Wera son of those days, the Awilo Logomba, that is the Lingala side. This side also, we also make sure that the rise of Ragadi, Emperor Orlando, the DJ Michael, Juliana Kanyamuzi, we mix the Katogo. This is the time we play a lot of variety music. So now, let's go for the music break, and when we bounce back, we're going to be talking about, Bushi the King, what he said about the Numa Award. Let's go for the music break. Keep it light on West Night Television. Son himself, where son kaingo mutu where son choku chon mawon and mo bedonga donga abena neno where son chalo be role model para music, but then I become the music about what music any kidamandana weru music dakika amaroma bora chalo ma endite dakika biro 7 good minutes. And of course, when you look at the current songs that we are doing right now, we are doing minutes as there are songs even for 1 minute. Yeah, there are songs of 1 minute. There are songs of 2 minutes. There's at March, it will be something like 4 minutes and 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes to 4 minutes. But of course, it's a little content. But when you look at these Lingala songs, we have songs that goes for 20 minutes. There are songs of 10, 15 minutes. When you listen to the songs, you feel relaxed at home. Most especially, they always say that Lingala music are for the people who have the money, the cash. When you're playing it in your car, when you're playing it at home, you will even forget about that tomorrow you need to eat. You will say today na today, leo ni leo, kesho naenda pata ake pia. Hiyo ndio slogan. Ya leo ni leo. Kesho pia akifika kesho tutapita pale tu. Hiyo ndio maneno ya zamani. Like of course, welcoming you once again from that musical break. Saj MC remains my name, the only guy that speaks in capital letter. Remember, I did tell you that in the last hour of the show, we're gonna be talking about this Bushi, what he said about Numa Award. But of course, when you look at things around Bushi himself, they were put in the same category with those of Lucky D. Yeah. They were put in the same category with those of Lucky D and the rest of the guys. But for him, he wanted himself being removed in that category where Lucky D was. He wanted himself to be removed. That is according to him, that he never wanted to be in that category. Because every year, we all know that every year, Lucky D always takes it each and every single year. When it comes to West Nile like this, every year Lucky D takes it. Then according to him, according to Bushi the King, of which is also right, you see, some of these accolades should be coming up with some package. Me, I expect accolades should be coming up with some package, of which maybe, if not that much, at least there should be a package. Because first of all, the organizers, they organize this thing, then at the end of the day, at the grand finale, the entry fee, people pay money. And you find that artists also pay for their transport, they accommodate themselves, and yet they go and perform for such kind of, for the event itself. Then the organizer takes the money. So according to Bushboy, that for him, he doesn't want to get himself involved in that. He has a certificate of recognition from Plan. He has a certificate for recognition from the Lulu Kingdom, and so many big corporate, corporate companies. So he does not need an award, maybe an accolade of 250,000. That's what Bush Boy said. Maybe he doesn't need those things. Why? He does not need those things because those things, they don't come up with the package. By the time that you're going to get the accolade of 250,000, and maybe it was bought at 250,000, you would have spent a lot of money in the process. Because first of all, you need to get data to talk to your friends, to vote for you. That is also money. And then you need to transport yourself on that very particular day. Go there, transport yourself, money. You need to accommodate yourself, money. You need to feed yourself, money. Maybe you have a crew that you're moving with, money. And it's very right. I've been always telling you people, some of these organizers, it's not really good. When you organize such kind of event, you only give an accolade to the person, minus any package. Me, I would urge that at least when somebody is crowned, let me say, the best artist of the year, the best female artist of the year, the best male artist of the year, the best R&B artist of the year, the best raga artist of the year, the best blogger of the year, maybe the best MC of the year, there should be package that follows that accolade. What are the package that I'm talking about here? At least for an artist, maybe if you happen to be let me say, the best male artist of the year, maybe let me talk about 2026. First package that I'll talk about, maybe taking you, giving you a beautiful video and a good audio. Maybe taking you because you've been the best. What shows that you've been the best? They should take you to the studio. You get a new, you get one of the best audio. You go, maybe they take you for the video shooting is either of the three of the countries in East Africa. They take you. Maybe even if they want to take you to Congo here, Bunya, it's okay. If they want to take you to Sudan, it's okay. Kenya, it's okay. But not necessarily that you go, you just pick an accolade and you come up with it. It's not really right. This one for the organizers of such kind of events. At least at the end of the day, me being the best MC, take me somewhere to go and host, maybe somewhere. Yes, take me somewhere. Organize an event somewhere, maybe in Kenya, you take me there to go and be one of the hosts. Maybe to go, if it means we're talking about, there are so many types of MCs. We have host MCs, we have the hype MCs, these are different departments of MCing. So once I happen to be maybe in a hype, let me say in the category of hype MC, I happen to be the best MC, then take me somewhere. Maybe let me go and hype in South Africa. I will know that my being the best, out of the best, apart from the accolade alone, I was taken to South Africa. You understand? To go and hype for the South Africans. No, maybe I was taken to Kenya to go and hype for the Kenyans. You see, it should come with such kind of package, An artist, like you're the best female artist, maybe they will give you a collab with one of the biggest artists. That one there still remains because the accolade, yes, it will remain there. But what does it add up? What does it add up in the fraternity? It doesn't add up anything big. So they should be coming up with with such kind of things. Maybe with one of the best video shooting, with one of the best audio and the video. Something like that. At least it gives courage for the persons, for the people, for the artists. It will give them the courage that last year I was the best female artist and I was given a collabo to do maybe let's talk about Northern Uganda. I was given a collaboration with a Kenyan artist, maybe Zushu. I did a collab with Zushu out of the hard work that I've been doing over the years. I ended up doing collab with that. Maybe the best artist of the year, I ended up doing a collab with the Diamond, living along the artists in Uganda. Maybe the big three in Uganda. Maybe any artist that is trending in Uganda, the current trending artist. So that one there, it gives you the connection, It gives you the connection and the impact at the same time. But our brothers and sisters, and I love the fact that if they are saying that, no, don't put me in that category, don't nominate me, I think they have the right. Then secondly, they should be also organized at the same time, the artists themselves. When you see such kind of things, you should have a say. You should have a say about that. Not that you keep quiet because now you are going to gain the fame. Yes, you will be getting the fame, but where will the fame bring the money in? Turn that fame into money-making machine. That is one way or the other. So if you are to do a collaboration with those other artists there, it will give you, a broader minds. That means you have crossed the border. Your hard work over the years, it has not just been like that. At least you have tried something. So the organizers out there, please make sure that when you're organizing it, first sit down and analyze. Because this time around, it's gone are the days when people get excited of any single small things. Yes, I am telling you, gone are the days when people get excited. Small thing, people get excited. Those days, you call an artist, you give an artist 100,000, artist will jubilate. Hey, I'm going to perform in a big stage with 100,000. But now, as it stands right now in Arua City, kekel ngati moku is kekel jaro when moku didiga mwanya abini kia performing kaka idelu dakashe moka ngamu ye bini re. So all in all abwachani, at least ka organizers organize pinyeto ngenya ka jaro will maybe the best male artist of the year me area nema ichacha. Pinyango manyutu yani anda epiti mutishima tech. Achel abwachani at least makiting ngati echa imire collaboration muku dan muku manyo mo walk you cross the border you kujuru duwe muku dongo maybe you can dreaming na maka at least be team kogi. So kani team lemene makumeti gamen wangu yani akare moku gami tush ngati cha kanu beru yo beneno accolade pare wachnya that accolade gave me that collaboration. The other accolade to mira accolade macha umira collaboration kwa ngati bisha. Accolade macha umira sende maroka indi. Accolade macha anwangu kurekod anwangu kuregine visibility makumaini. But in one poll, after no accolade, you don't get anything. You remain with the accolade. No video pay majumi shooting video. Makawacha at least na makugiting video, giting jali jarawe no this shooting video. You know, keshi shooting video manyutu yani anda iberu jarawe iberu ingiloyo zo I oru nema eni. So Numa Award, not only Numa Award, then we are talking about Yetunde Award and the rest of the awards. Please make sure that when you give somebody an accolade, there should be, even if not necessarily that there should be an envelope. At least give an impact. And that person will be, jubilating that when I was the best artist of this is what was given to me. I was Miss Tourism. I was taken to Kenya. I was taken to South Africa. I was taken to this. So we need to embrace that kind of things. Otherwise, the guys, we shall always remain yawning each and every single time. Here comes, here go. Other people will be the one benefiting in this very particular fame game. Like Bushi the King, I really want to appreciate you for saying that. Because you have opened so many people's minds, so many minds of the there are so many artists. You remember Doom Magiberi dilemma. Maka woni en ku kit wechi mo dongo mutegini iwechi per mutegini ka ngati manyang ogami nyang wacha ne editere to wechi le mandaba ngati manyang nyang wacha ne bush boy wechi le manda chalo an sama analyzing le mebeka wechi ogami wacha ne bush boy. There's a point in that. There's a point. So fellow entertainers, fellow fame gamers, we really need to wake up. We really need to wake up from our sleep and we start doing things that can bring in money in our pockets. Fame alone without money, if you cannot convert fame into money in your pocket, then you're doomed. Sarge MC remains my name, the only guy that speaks in capital letter. And of course, you have been watching Western Television for the TBT throwback, where we make sure that we play those good song lingalas. And of course, I can only tell you that I've come to the end of this very particular show this time around. Maybe we're going to be catching up again till tomorrow for the weekly round. But before that, I want to greet one more time my brother Afande Odongo in Mowende. Awentawanya Medika and Western Television. And let us know how you feel about us. But of course, that's only message that I can leave you with on your screen right there. And of course, the boy, thanks for the good work. See you till tomorrow. Same time, same television. Keep it right there.